Okay, we're going to do a little lesson on chord forms here. So here's my E chord. Okay, so we have our basic chords. Here's an E, and here's an A, and here's a D. Okay, so these are the basic chords that are barred and moved up the neck. Okay, E, A, and D. Because we have an E string, an A string, and a D string. Okay, so now when you have an E here, I can alter this basic shape to make the different qualities of chord. Okay, so if I lift up my first finger, that's an E minor. Okay, put my first finger back, E major. If I lift up my second finger, that's an E7. 1, 3, 5, 7. And I can put that higher if I want to add my pinky right there to the third. So that's a full E7, and I have both. I have 2 D notes. Well, I can just have a 1. Alright, so there's an E. Now, if I want to, I can, by making my finger replace this piece here, I can bar the E. And it's the same kind of deal with all the forms. I'm going to take these 3 fingers and I'm going to put them here like this. And now, as I move up, this is the worst, most difficult, hardest place to do it. That would be an F. And if I go up, it would be a G. So a shorthanded way to do this, if you don't want to have to do the whole, that would be an A chord. And that would be A major, A minor. And if I lift up my pinky, A7. And if I want the full A7. Okay. Alright. Now a shorthanded way to do this is to take the F chord shape, which is difficult to do here. If we move it up, maybe to A, now I have an A chord, and you really get everything that you would get, but I just have to make this F shape. This is probably my go-to A chord on the guitar. If I want it minor, minor 7. A minor 7. I need a G on there. Okay, so there's a basic minor. Okay. So all of these are for things that look like E chords. So change it to minor. I want to change it to 7. Alright, so those are the barred E chords. Now we have an A chord. There's A major, and there's A minor. Go back to A major again. If I lift up this finger, it's easier to see this way. A7 with the open G string, and I can add the 7th again on the top if I want to by doing this, but that's fine. Okay. Now the way these bar is, and I would take my first finger and I need this one and this one, the worst, hardest place to do it. Okay, now notice this D. You're not getting any bang for your buck here. You have that note. And you can get it this way. no different. So you can hit this one here, but it's the same thing as doing this. Now, to make this into a minor, it's going to look like that. So the same way we would have a minor here. As we start to move this up, we're going to need to make the minor with these three fingers. Fingers 2, 3, and 4, like that. Okay? And keep in mind, we're only playing from the A string down. So now as I start to bar, and when the other strings come into play, that's the difference of, so there's your A's. Okay? And if I want a D7 or something, it would look like this. It would also look like that. We'll talk about that. Okay, so the C chord here, you can have a major and you can have a 7. And you can move this one up really nice. I like this one for when I get one measure of E flat 7 or some kind of oddball 7 chord, because we can be, and then when I need my one little, then I'm okay. See what I mean? Okay, so the C, just play the inside ones that you just play these 4. So there's C7, C sharp 7, D7, D sharp or E flat 7, E7, F7, F sharp 7, G7. Okay. And then we can also bar D chords, which is a little bit funny because we don't usually bar the major one. What we usually bar is this 7 chord here. Here's D7. And atop of an F chord is technically D minor 7. Okay? So to bar this, all we're going to need to do is touch one finger to what the D string, to the D string. So for example, here's D7, okay? When I want E flat 7, I move this up. And I'm going to have to switch my fingers again. So I'm going to do this. So there's a E flat 7. Here's an E7 chord. So finger 1 is on fret 2 of the, finger 1's on fret 2 of the D string. Finger 3 is on fret 4 of the G string. Finger 2 is on fret 3 of the B string, and finger 4 is on fret 4 of the high E string. You can hear the low E string fits. Compared to a regular E7, it's the same thing. You just happen don't have that high note there. So we can bar D chords. We can bar a minor like this. So this would be E minor 7 because there's D minor 7. Move it up. Move D minor 7 up 2 frets. So it looks like a G chord. See, it looks like an F shape. So instead of this bass note, play that bass note. There it is. So that would be E minor 7. So it's kind of cool because if I want something weird like F minor 7, it's right here. I don't have to try and be doing all this. And you can also do major 7s this way. I don't really like a major 7 chord. You guys use one really well in Save the I'll think of a song in a minute. I love it. Do you know you fall in love? Da, da, da. There's a beautiful major 7 chord there. It comes out on that. Anyway, so you can bar these. Okay, so we have bars from E's, we have bars from A's, and we have bars from B's. Usually E and A are the common ones, and you don't really need them. They're all the same sounds you have here. This D is this D. But the power chords, even even if you go to a chord that needs more notes on the top, you'll still notice it, what it is. Like, you'll hear that it is there. Okay, so the other thing we were talking about is secondary dominants. I'll do a different video on those because it's been 10 minutes. So E, A, D. Bar E like this. Bar A like this. And D, you have to, bar D7 like this. Okay, that's that. Talk to you soon. Bye.